Hey, what's going on, everybody? That was some bullshit yesterday. Go Birds. We definitely should have won that game. Quick digression. But today, hopefully, it's going to be a quick video and probably a controversial video because it's going to be about terrorism. And I know just saying that shit, it's automatically like, what the fuck? But let's just get into it. So, I'm just going to say right now that, like, first of all, let me say that I am against terrorism. So I feel like that's something we need to say at the beginning of everything because people are fucking crazy with what you say. So I'm against terrorism. But what I am offering is that I think there are not as many objective instances where something is clearly terrorism versus something is like a revolutionary act. So let me get into it. Who is the evil person or who is the terrorist or who is everything is contingent upon who is writing the story. Period. Right? One person's terrorist is another person's like liberation army. And I feel like that is something that we have to just establish. Like, let's talk about Native Americans, right? Native Americans, I'm sure white Europeans coming here are the terrorists and horrible people that came and just stole and colonized our land, that white people are the huge enemy in their story. But you look at the other side, you see like there's a whole genre of like cowboys and Indians movies that show like the cowboys and white settlers as the heroines and as the Indians as the evil people trying to attack settlers just trying to make a living, right? So I mean, I feel like in that mindset, we clearly know that like I think there is an objective thing to suggest that a colonizer coming in and stealing land and breaking treaties and causing genocide, they're the bad guys, right? But yet the narrative is never suggesting that they're bad guys in any way. There's no atonement and whatever they need to do to, win the day and save the land for their family somehow is written as a hero narrative, right? And so I just want to take that a step further and just get people to think critically about it. It's like you can still think what you think, but also there are two sides to the equation. And just not to think on this knee jerk good evil, which I think is an oversimplification, which our government really wants us to do to help us divide us. But I just need not look further than the American Revolution. Let's not look further than that because we all in America, of course, the American Revolution was our liberation, right? And let's think about this plainly. Is it wrong for people that are being colonized to want freedom? Right? Whether the colonized people are indigenous to the land or whether the colonized people were brought over from various lands, if they've decided at some point in time that the body that is colonizing them, that they don't want to be controlled anymore, and they like to have freedom for themselves and have the people that live there be the determinants of their own future, is that a bad thing? And I think we need to look at that because if you look at history and look at those back and forth between the colonizers and the people that want freedom, the story varies contingent upon who are the colonizers and who are the people that want freedom. That it is not the same. You would think like, hey, freedom, liberation movements, those are all good, right? We all say those are championing them, but like in modern times today, we see that like actually mediums such as on the sides of the colonizers and showing how it's unfair to them. But that's a small digression. Let's get back into direct American history about how American history, if you want to base it on, let's talk about the view of the Brits. Right? The Brits were the colonizers. They came, made all the investments, brought people to America, established things and everything like that, subjugated Native Americans, but also brought British citizens over here to make it happen. And at some point, the British people that were here in America wanted freedom, like are all of our founding fathers and everything like that. But what did they do to get freedom? Right? One might say that they terrorized the colony, right? They, did things to disrupt governance. They boycotted. They like the Boston Tea Party. What the fuck do you think that was? That was them literally destroying private property from businesses and disturbing governance and all things of that nature. So they literally engage in domestic terrorism and civil disobedience to make their point to try and earn their freedom. And if you're looking at it from the Brit side, like these rebels were just terrorists causing expenses and breaking their vow and honor to the crown. If we were just about law and order, right, if we're just talking about, oh, it's never okay to break the law, then we would never be here as a nation. in the way that we are. But like we engage in the most form of domestic terrorism and then engage in actual warfare. And that's how America came to be. And we look at it as this wonderful story, which it is, right? It's a wonder story of independence. But let's keep that same energy when we're talking about other things, right? Like, and it's just like when a lot of African nations today are searching for independence, or a lot of South American nations are searching for independence, and the exact same reason that Americans wanted it hundreds of years ago. Somehow that narrative is changed. Somehow they're all socialists, somehow they're all evil, somehow they're all dictators, somehow they're all terrorists, somehow they're all these bad things. And if you look at it from their side, remember, people being colonized, right? People that for some reason their shit was taken over, then they had the real tie to the land, and they're the people that want freedom. And somehow those freedom movements are looked at negatively as terrorism. Yet most countries today are birthed out of that terrorism. So this is just a short video today, not trying to do anything, but just get you to think a little bit more critically about it, and like just don't be so following into like the knee-jerk response that they want you to do, and think of your own history, and don't be a hypocrite, and think critically about those things. There are two sides to every story. Yes, there's some objective bad things and bad actors and bad things of that nature, but just don't fall into like, ooh, like they're domestic terror, you know what I'm saying, in that space. Think about it. Think about it. Yes, there are objective things. Yes, terrorism is bad, but one person's terrorist could be some person's liberation moment. Ask your founding fathers as proof. Until next time.